8th, 2025, 6 p.m. Let the minutes reflect that all 5 board members are present. And item 2, Mrs. Harvey, I'd ask you if you would to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Item 3, we have approval of agenda or adjustments.
Move that we pull RT Rogers and Safe Sound to be voted on separately in the bills.
Second. A motion by Mr. Brogan, seconded by Mr. McBride to pull RT Rogers Safe and Sound, handle those separately in the bills. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstaining? Let the minutes reflect by a 5-0 vote that we will pull RT Rogers and Safe and Sound and handle those separately in the bills. Any other adjustments?
Motion that we approve the agenda with the aforementioned adjustment.
We have a motion by Mrs. Harvey, seconded by Mr. Brogan, that we approve the agenda as read with the aforementioned adjustment. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstaining? Let the minutes reflect by a 5-0 vote that the agenda with the aforementioned adjustment has been approved. Item 4, student achievement. We had our social studies fair winners.
They could not be here this evening,
Okay.
and we would like to move that to the next.
Absolutely.
next school.
Yes, so that would be on the 20th. Is that right? The 22nd,
Yeah.
sorry. So we'll postpone that till the 22nd. All right, item 5, employee disciplinary hearing.
We're not at that point.
Okay, so we'll take no action on this one at this time. Okay, item 6, presentations. You have any? No? Okay. And any public comments for item 7? All right. Item 8, we have the superintendent recommendation for approval of the March 20th, 2025 regular meeting minutes.
Motion that we approve the March 2025 minutes.
Second. We have a motion by Mrs. Harvey, seconded by Mr. McBride to approve the March 20th, 2025 regular meeting minutes. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstaining? The minutes reflect by a 5-0 vote that the March 20th, 2025 regular meeting minutes have been approved. All right, we are at agenda item 9, approval of bills. The first 2 bills we're going to look at, Safe and Sound and RT Rogers.
I make a motion, we pay Safe and Sound and RT Rogers.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. McBride, seconded by Mrs. Farley to pay Safe and Sound and RT Rogers. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstaining? Let the minutes reflect by a 4-0 vote, Safe and Sound and RT Roger bills have been approved for payment with Mr. Brogan recusing himself.
Failed to state for the record, had to recuse myself because of a conflict of interest with both those companies.
All right, we have before us now the remainder of the bills.
I make a motion, we pay the rest of the bills.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. McBride, seconded by Mr. Brogan, that we pay the remainder of the bills. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Opposed? Abstaining? The minutes reflect by a 5-0 vote that the remainder of the bills have been approved for payment. Item 10, this is old business, discussion or possible action regarding levy order. This is just going to remain on the agenda until the 4/15 meeting. So there's no discussion that we really need to do on that. So I'm going to mark this as no action. And then we'll pick this back up on the statutory meeting on 4/15. All right, item 11, new business, approved purchases over 25,000. None? Okay. And then item B under new business, the 25-26 calendar hearing.
You have a new.
Yeah, we have a copy here. So when would be the start date for students?
On the first calendar, actually, staff, we come back August 11th,
Okay,
and the first day the students come back will be Monday, August 18th.
okay.
There's some notes at the bottom of the calendar. I don't know. Point that out in
Oh,
highlights.
okay. Thank you.
Then you can see the difference.
The highlighted notes.
I'll point out that if you look to the far left of the dates that automatically get put in, as you're putting the date, the professional learning days on, you can see throughout, those are all counted as instructional day,
Okay.
that the students are.
When will these be voted on?
I have one more calendar year, the second. And then we will send them out for vote on, April 23rd. And the voting closes, Friday, April 25th.
Thank you.
So the days of out of calendar days are the same on both. It's just the start and ending dates that are changing.
Well, the out of calendar days, the OS days at the end,
Uh-huh.
they're a little different as well.
Okay.
Shifts them all for them if you start later and all.
They kind of look like they're in the same place, but if you see the dates on them.
But the number's the same?
We have to have
Yes.
6.
Mhm. And when would be our makeup days if we miss for snow?
Okay, on the first
Weather.
calendar, August 11th calendar,
Uh-huh.
we'll have 5 days built in
Okay.
for snow days, and then we'll have 5 additional days built in for non-traditional instruction.
Okay.
So if we don't miss any of those 10 days, or don't go over the 10 days rather, the kids will get out on May 29th.
Okay.
Yeah, we will do
Okay.
And then on the second calendar, if you started August 18th, if we didn't use all of those, or we didn't go past the 10 days for snow and emergencies, kids would get out June 5th.
Okay. Any other questions regarding the calendar? And we'll have our second hearing on this on the 22nd as well. All right, item C, under new business, discussion or possible action regarding retention policy.
We don't have that back yet.
Okay. And item D, discussion or possible action to approve out-of-state overnight trips. We have 4 trips. Jumping Branch Pre-K through 5 to the Virginia Safari Park, Hinton Area Pre-K also to the Virginia Safari Park. Talcott to Carowinds, and Dr. Green for a principals conference.
Anybody opposed to taking them all at once?
I'm not. You all okay with voting
I'm
these all
okay.
at once? Okay.
Make a motion that we approve all 4 trips.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Brogan, seconded by Mrs. Harvey, that we approve the 4 out-of-state overnight/overnight trips. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstaining. Let the minutes reflect by a 5-0 vote that the out-of-state/overnight trips have been approved. Discussion or possible action to approve the superintendent to meet with the county commission regarding school resource officer MOU. Just to give you all a little background on this, so we have an MOU with our resource officer, and according to the attorney, if we are going to make any changes to an MOU, then we have to communicate with the county commission as well as the sheriff's department. And his recommendation was that we vote for Dr. Knott to communicate with them on our behalf rather than us having to call a formal meeting. So I've talked to Dr. Knott. My suggestion to Dr. Knott was that if there's any way financially possible we can keep a resource officer, I would like to. But I also realize without a levy and with COVID funds running limited, it would be up to her and the financial office to determine if we had the availability to do that. So I know that they will do their due diligence. And my recommendation, and I'll just go ahead and make a motion, is that we do approve the superintendent to meet with the county commission regarding school resource officers regarding the MOU.
I'll second.
So there's a motion by myself, seconded by Mr. Brogan, that we approve the superintendent to meet with county commission regarding the school resource officer MOU. Is there any discussion? I gave you all the background, so now I'll give you the chance to talk about it if you need to, or if not, we can go ahead and vote.
Is this an exploratory conversation, or is this a conversation after you and Ms. Kincaid are able to review the finances and determine what we can and
We'll
cannot do?
include Ms. Jones, West, but we'll do that before we meet with the county commission, just to know what we have available. There is an MOU, it's not part, so his position was not part of the rep and transfer season because there's an MOU. And it's supposed to be approved or not approved every year. So it was something we would have to do anyway. Yep.
Any other questions, comments? All right, so a motion by myself, seconded by Mr. Brogan, to approve the superintendent to meet with county commission regarding school resource officer MOU. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? The minutes reflect by a 5-0 vote that the board has approved the superintendent to meet with county commission regarding the school resource officer MOU. Item F, discussion or possible action regarding coaching supplements. And Dr. Knott, I'm going to let you explain this one.
The 24-25 coaching salaries were never approved by the board, so that's what these are. The softball and baseball at the middle school level was at a lesser amount. And I think there were reasons for that. Startup, and there were just reasons for that. However, questions came up and our Bowles Rights attorney said that since all the other ones above there were at a certain level for the coach and the assistant coach, he said that the softball and baseball needed to be brought up to match those other ones. So that's where this came from. And plus, this had never been approved for this school year.
There's no change except for those two.
Those are the only changes, the softball and baseball head coach and assistant coach
For middle school.
for middle school.
Need a motion to approve these. I'll make a motion if we approve presented coaching salaries for 24-25.
Second.
Who wants it?
Let me-
All right. We have a motion by Mr. Brogan, seconded by Mrs. Harvey to approve the coaching supplements for the 2024-2025 seasons. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstaining? Let the minutes reflect by a 5-0 vote that the coaching supplements have been approved. Item G is discussion or possible action regarding a work session. Sent an email out to you all to kind of think about some dates and throw out some dates regarding a work session. Dr. Knott and myself had talked about a work session, and then I realized that probably what I needed to do was find out what date would be beneficial for her to have a work session, since she's fairly new in this, and so I did reach out to her, and we think that probably May would be a better time frame because she's the riff and transfer and everything she's trying to get through right now. And that will kind of set us for the tone going into the next school year. Do you have a preference if it's early in May, later in May? Okay, so if you all have any dates that will not work in May, let us know, and then what we can do is take away any dates that you all are not available for the month of May, and we can then look at what we're left with, and in either the 15th or the 22nd at either one of those meetings, we can establish a date for our work session.
I'm not available on the 16th.
Okay, so we'll take the 16th off.
I've got a real early appointment on the 7th.
Okay.
Not to be there, but
Would you all want to have the work session the same day as a board meeting and just disrupt one day? Would you rather have it on a different day?
I wouldn't mind the same day if, is it looking like, just a partial day work session is all we would need?
I would think if we would meet sometime after lunch, we could get done what we need to before our meeting at 6.
I wouldn't mind that.
Okay. And one thing I think I mentioned to Dr. Knott, but it could work out that we might even be able to invite Trey to join us, and he can provide us some training during that time. And while we have him here, he can answer any questions we might have as well that would result from a work session. And we wouldn't have to have him here the whole time, but if he could just come in and do a little training, maybe before our board meeting. But we'll have to see if that would work with his schedule.
Our meetings in May are the 13th.
Right, 13th and 27th.
They did, sorry, either of those days.
Okay. You guys good with those?
I'm good with both.
Okay, so, is the 27th too late for you, you think, or would that give you enough time to kind of get settled in a little better? Okay, so let's plan our work session on May 27th. So I'll go ahead and make a motion that we schedule a work session for May the 27th, and we can start it at 1 p.m.
I'll second.
Okay, so, there's a motion on the floor by myself, seconded by Mr. McBride, that we schedule a work session for May 27th at 1 PM. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstaining. Minutes reflect by a 5-0 vote that we have approved a work session for 5/27 at 1 PM. Item 12, we have personnel. So we have before us resignation and retirements. We have leave of absence.
I can make a motion. Make the motion to approve. Finance as stated.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor by Mrs. Harvey, seconded by Mr. Brogan. According to West Virginia 6-9A-4 personnel, that we go into executive session. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstaining. Let the minutes reflect by a 5-0 vote that we will go into executive session. The time is 6:23 PM. Okay, we'll call this regular meeting back to session. And our executive session adjourned at 6:46 PM. So we have before us now the superintendent's recommendation for personnel. There's retirements, resignations, leave of absence, employee service, employee professional, employee substitute professional, employee substitute service. And then we also have the effective date for the employees that we hired at the previous meeting pending documentation. I have a motion.
In regard to employment service, third grade, ECAT at Buckley Elementary, I would make a motion that that be postponed until the second meeting in May.
I'll second that.
Hey, we have a motion on the floor by Mrs. Farley, seconded by Mr. Brogan for the ECAT third grade Talkit position, that it be postponed till the second meeting in May. I get that correct?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? Minutes reflect by a 5-0 vote that the ECAT third grade Talkit position will be postponed until the second meeting in May.
I make a motion in regard to the remaining personnel, that we accept the superintendent's recommendations.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Mrs. Farley, seconded by Mr. McBride, regarding the remainder of the personnel that we accept the superintendent's recommendation. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? Let the minutes reflect by a 5-0 vote that the remainder of the personnel items recommended by the superintendent have been approved. Item 13, superintendent's report.
Very briefly about the truck. They took it to the dealership. They couldn't find anything wrong with it. Austin at the bus garage has taken it apart as much as he can take it apart, and he can't find anything wrong with it, but it still has something wrong with it. So, Brian Boone and I talked that we're looking into maybe possibly trading it off and getting something else.
Okay.
Um,
Is it drivable right now or?
It is drivable, but
It's almost like it has a little pickup. Catch,
Mhm.
all of a sudden, it's a little catch.
Is
It's
it
almost like, you know, how.
like a miss or a slip of the transmission or?
You know, some of that was guts.
Yeah.
Almost kind of puts you in mind of having traction, having your tires kind of stall out sometimes.
Yeah.
It's not quite that bad. We'll get it.
Okay.
and then, Mr. Metter can give you an update on the issue, possibly talk at Jim.
Yeah, sure. So. Actually, my pop.
Chad, you're not as old as I am. You're not supposed to do that.
He was, obviously, he was empty through there and noticed the water coming through the outside of the wall. So he brought to our attention, brought to my attention, I discussed it with Charlie Mans, for water coming through the wall. So he went out there and took a look, and That got fixed. I talked to Charlie again this afternoon. It actually was coming from the scuppers. What scuppers are,
Mm-hmm.
I'll show you. Found a picture. Scuppers are the collection pieces just prior to the downspouts. And if you look, and now you can pass this around, but this scupper, let's see, on the opposite side of the wall are the same amount of scuppers, you think, close to it. But that scupper, and on the opposite side of the building, that scupper had holes in it. So he patched all those holes, and he's pretty certain that he's correct. So rained a few times. We haven't had any more water come through the walls, so we're gonna monitor it, see if that took care of it. And then we'll, this summer, paint the walls. We have extra paint down in the basement of the building. And I will say, I think it's fair to say this, those scuppers are already there. That was not something part of the scope of work for the project, so not really something we can say, gotta fix this. Once I finally got the details of the actual issue. But
Any idea of have the holes been there all along, or did something create the holes?
Well, I think, I don't know what created them. But
Yeah.
Charlie said he could put his fist through one.
Okay.
So he patched it all off real good. So we're gonna monitor it. And ultimately, if that doesn't take care of it, then we'll have to explore a little bit more. But
And
those
then-
walls are pretty thin.
Yeah. I guess he checked the other scuppers to make sure they looked
I
good.
don't know if he did. I'd be lying if I
Yeah.
told you that I saw him do it. But
Yeah.
I certainly can bring that up.
Okay.
But those are the two sides of the area.
All right. Thank you for that update.
Yep.
Thank you.
You learn something new every day.
Yep.
All right. So discussion of next agenda, the next meeting will be our statutory meeting. And that's going to be for the workforce realignment personnel hearing. That's going to be April 15th at the central office. And we're going to do that. Oh, yeah, to handle at the same time.
The what?
The levy order.
Oh,
When
yeah.
was that? Yeah, item 10. I'm sorry. So yes, thank you for correcting me. So the next meeting will be our statutory meeting, and that's going to be for the levy order, not the workforce realignment personnel hearings. Or will we have those as well on the
We have
15th?
those.
Okay, we'll have both. Okay. So on the 15th, we'll do the workforce realignment personnel hearings as well as the levy order. And then, do we want to have that? What time do you all want to have that on the 15th? Okay. Because that should be a fairly short meeting.
Do you foresee any hearings?
We haven't had any requests yet.
Yeah. Do y'all want to do a 5 o'clock for that one? Stick with 6. Do we want to do it in the day?
Oh, are they?
Do it at 11, 12, 1? About you two?
I think whatever would make it easier on the central office staff, so they wouldn't have to stick around late in the evening.
Is there a time in that 11, 12, 1 o'clock time frame that would work better for you all?
Ms. Jones, does she have to be available for that, Dr. Knopf? Okay.
Anytime. Okay.
Okay. Megan, what's your schedule look like?
11 or 12 would be good.
Okay. We do Hold on, let me look real quick, and make sure I have anything. I don't think I did. Yeah, let's do 11 o'clock if that works for everyone. So April 15th, 11 a.m. Okay, and then our next regular meeting will be April 22nd. That's going to be at Talcott Elementary. And that's also going to serve as their LSIC. That one will be at 6 p.m. Or do they want us to come early for them to start their
Do you know if they
LSIC?
want to start early? I haven't either.
Let's leave that time off right now.
Okay.
If you want to check with Talcott and see if, since they're going to do LSIC, if they'd like us to come at 5 or 5:30, and give them a chance to, does that work for you all? Okay.
Yeah.
And so we'll just put the date down right now with time to be determined for April 22nd.
Dr. Knott, back in for student achievement, you had mentioned moving, the social studies fair, Bailey Richmond and Abigail St. Pierre to April 22nd, and you mentioned the next meeting that was at the Summers County.
The next one at the high school.
So we need to change that date back on, under number 4 then. It's the April
What was that
22nd.
May 22nd?
Um,
The May 22nd meeting?
Okay. I
So we'll
wrote down-
meet on,
May 22nd.
we'll meet on
Is
May
it May?
13th and May 27th.
Okay,
Yeah.
22nd.
because I have written down April 22nd.
So
We need to change that date to the next high school.
the 13th would be the next meeting here.
May.
Do what?
I had May 22nd.
All right.
It
Any
will be
other,
May 13th then on, under number 4, that'll be moved to May 13th.
any other items for the next agenda? All right, Mr. McBride?
See, what do we need a motion for?
We need to,
Just remain adjourned?
w-
We don't.
we don't adjourn, so we're gonna recess this meeting.
Recess.
Mhm.
I'll make a motion, we recess.
My session?
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. McBride, seconded by Mrs. Farley, that we recess this meeting until the April
April
15th
15th
statutory.
meeting, yes.
Okay. So motion by Mr. McBride, seconded by Mrs. Farley, that we recess this meeting until the April 15th statutory meeting. Any discussion? Oh, time is 7 p.m. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Hi.
Opposed, abstaining. Let the minutes reflect by a 5-0 vote. We have now recessed this meeting until April 15th.